On today's show, the football team heads down to Berkeley for a date with Javid Best and the Cal Bears.
Women's soccer looks to knock off top-ranked Stanford.
And the WSU volleyball team takes on number 4 UW in front of a record crowd in Bowler Gym.
All that and more on this ITL.
Good evening and welcome to this edition of Inside the Lines. I'm Michelle Ledka.
And I'm David Pete.
And boy, do we have a great show for you tonight. Well, coming off a loss at the hands of the Arizona State Sun Devils, the Cougs headed down to California to try their luck versus Cal. Let's take it now down to Memorial Stadium in Berkeley. We'll start it off here in the middle of the first quarter with the Cougs already trailing by 14-0. We had Reed Forrest with the punt there to Jeremy Ross with the return at the 23-yard line. The Bears do a nice job of blocking as Ross makes it down to the Cougs past the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, and yes, the 10 into the end zone, making it 20-0. Jeff Toole now with the ball. He's got the long pass here to Jared Carstetter for a 36-yard gain. Coming up again, we got Toole with the ball, and this time the pass is completed by Jeffrey Solomon for a first down. After a 5-yard penalty, it takes Toole again with the ball. He fakes the handoff and chucks it to Solomon, who's keeping the Cougars in the red zone and within scoring range. After a penalty and an incomplete pass, it's Nico Grasso with the field goal attempt, and it's good. Cal now back with the ball. It cuts hike to Kevin Riley, who tosses it off to Shane Vreen, who runs it in for a 21-yard touchdown. Too bad, Cougs. Second quarter now. Toole with the handoff to Carl Winston, who rushes it past the 40, the 50, and gets pushed out of bounds at the Cal 29. Nico Grasso back in with 49-yard field goal attempt, and it looks like it's going to be good, but it's deflected off the crossbar, as in the Cougs just can't seem to catch a break. Riley with the handoff to Javid Best, who breaks through the Cougar defense, leaving them in the dust as he runs it down, yes, for a 61-yard touchdown. The extra point's good, making it 35-3 Cal. Now it's nice to see our freshmen work well together. That was Toole who passed it off to Gino Simoni, who runs it in for a 12-yard gain. Moving ahead into the quarter, it's Toole again, and this time he goes for the long pass to Johnny Ferzani, who runs it in, getting the Cougars their very first touchdown of the game. Boy, were they excited there. They needed that. Now the Cougars again will have the ball here. Toole will drop back, and the pass is complete to Johnny Ferranzi again, and that's another Cougar first down. Toole again, but this time it goes to Solomon, who goes down at the Washington State 43. Jeff Toole testing out those legs a bit. He runs it, and he takes down about 6 more yards. And it's our freshman duo again, Toole to Simoni, and now I can't say this enough, but that's another Cougar first down. Toole again, here with the ball. He drops back and he sends it to Carl Winston. And let's add another 10 yards for the Cougs. Now this has been quite some drive for Washington State. And as the anticipation builds, we've got Toole to Simoni for the Cougars' second touchdown on the day, making the score 17-35 as it rolls into the second half. Attaboy, guys. Cal now will have the ball on the 47-yard line, or he'll have a 47 field goal attempt, but it was blocked, and the Cougs were sure happy about that. They had some good effort there. Washington State on the line with the ball here. It's hiked right about now to Toole with a fake handoff and the pass to Zach Tatman for the 13-yard gain. We'll fast forward a little bit, and it's Kevin Riley with the pass to Jeremy Ross here, who outruns the Cougs and brings it down to the Washington State 2. Handoff now to Javid Best, who runs it straight through the defense for the 6th touchdown of the day for Cal. Now to end on a good note for the Cougs, we've got Kevin Riley with the ball. He's looking to get it off, and he throws it just to be intercepted by Myron Beck, who returns for 11 yards at the Washington State 34. And as you can see, the Cougs ended up dropping the game 49-17. But Dave, there was some good news that came out of it. This was Toole's best game of the season. so far, having 28 of 42 passes and completing 354 yards.
Yeah, a lot has to be said. The fact that Cougs have to take pride in being described as not entirely terrible and liking that.
Exactly, because at least, there's some personal bests.
Very true.
You could say that. Yeah.
All right, now on a better note, Cougs fans looking for two things this past Friday: shelter from the rain and a Cougar win. Bowler Gym would provide both. It's pink jersey night, breast cancer night. Crowd pumped up for the match against the number 4 Huskies on Coach Paleo's birthday. Now we're going to take you now to the highlights if we can. When we bring them up, we'll be starting with Kelly Hayter, who will send it over to UW for the net. Send it over the net for the Cougars here. UW with the set, the bump, and send it back over the Cougs here. Now recovering, trying to set up the kill, but it's blocked, and the UW takes the point. Cougs now will be looking here to shake it off as they're receiving the serve. As we'll see here shortly, we'll bring it across. Cougs receiving the serve, and they look to set it up for Megan Ganser, but it is handled by the UW defense, who sent it back across. And if anybody wondered why they called this game volleyball, well, they got their answer tonight in Bowler. As back and forth it would go, UW again with the return, and it would take the lob to drop over for the point. Cougs now looking to set up some offense, but just couldn't seem to muster any type of rally here in the first set. Renee Bordlin again with the serve. The Cougs come back and forth. The match would keep going. Fans would be on their feet throughout the entire contest, as for good reason, as Jackie Albright would try to set up Cassie Robbins, who spikes it like the punch at the senior prom. As you'll see that coming up here, and wham, there it is, folks. Renee Bordlin again here with the serve, but again, the bump set, and if you think it's familiar, it is the kill for the Cougars. So Faith Hutcherson here tries and takes her turn at serving with no different result. Here we go as UW sends it back over. Kelly Header looks to return it, but she just gets a chest of volleyball for her trouble. UW now with the serve as the Cougs would try to return it. Here we go for the Cougs, but it is long, and they would drop the first set 18-25. We switch sides here, and luck as WSU looks to set up a play, but it's a quick strike that gets them on the board here in the second. Cougs and Huskies found themselves in a competitive second set in Bowler as they tried to set up Brittany Tillman, who gets up to get down. Cougs win the set 25-22. Pickup action in the third set is Hutcherson with the serve, but it would be blocked and returned, and here we go. You're going to have to tune in to see this one. It's reflected and into the stands, and watch out, front row. Kendra Carlson slams into the student section. Now, Huskies don't make good lap dogs, and right there you can see why. Fans talking a little trash, making the Huskies feel right at home. Now, gaining momentum is Hutcherson again with the serve, and it's going to be returned at a funny angle, and Megan Ganser tells him, no, this is how you do it now. But unfortunately, with the rally bump, set, and kill here, the Huskies would take the point. Huskies look to serve as the bump here by Cassie Robbins and says, look out below because I'm bringing the thunder. Now, Cougs, similar results here as Ganser would bring, right here you'll see her bring Myra to her Sumer to her knees. I think I had too many knees in there, but doesn't matter. What does matter is they win the set 25-21. Now in the fourth, the UW beginning to crumble as Bianca Rowan serve finds the net, crowd loving it. And finally, Hutcherson with the serve. Bump, UW set, the bump. The spikes, Cougs got you covered here. The bump, the set, the spike, and it finds the line. Fans rejoice. Cougs rush the court. Bowler goes crazy, and everybody's loving it here, except for that guy right there who's going to go home and tell his mom went to Pullman for the volleyball game, and all I got was some pounds. Now the Cougs cheer on, and they win in 4 sets, 18-25, 25-22, 21, and 25-22. Cougs now next travel over to Arizona, where they're going to take on both Arizona State and Arizona. They'll be traveling to Tucson on Saturday, Halloween, for that matchup.
Well, hopefully the Halloween spirits will bring them some luck.
Hopefully we'll see some masks.
Now it's time to turn it over to Jen Hollenbach, who's at the Cub, talking with students about WSU's upcoming